Hello everyone. So today our topic is about anti-diabetic agents. So in order to go in detail about firstly of anti-diabetic agents, first we have to know the hormones. So what are the hormones that are causing the diabetes? So first we'll discuss about that. Then we'll go in detail about the treatment of diabetic agents. So firstly, what are hormones? Sorry. So hormones, these are the chemical messengers. So they are mainly are required in small amounts either to accelerate or inhibit the metabolic activities of target organ. Okay, they will be only required in small amounts either to accelerate or inhibit the metabolic activity of target organ. So here, so mainly our human body will be secreting about 50 different types of hormones. Mainly secrete about 50 different types of hormones. Our human body will be secreting 50 different types of hormones. So they will be classified mainly on the basis of their nature. So depending upon the nature, they will be classified. For example, we are having proteins, polypeptides, steroids, amino acids. Okay, so these are all hormones, amino acid hormones, right? So it's these hormones are the chemical messengers which are required in small amounts to accelerate or inhibit the metabolic activities. So mainly our human body consists of 50 different types of hormones. So they will be classified based upon the nature. They will be classified based upon the nature. Example here we have proteins, polypeptides, or steroids, or amino acids. So first we will discuss the secretion of hormones mainly from the pancreas. Okay, so these pancreas contains both exocrine as well as endocrine cells. Pancreas consists of both exocrine and endocrine. Here we mainly require the endocrine cells because these endocrines will be having at least 4 different types of cells. At least 4 different types of cells. So here is the picture of liver. So under the liver we are having the pancreas. Okay. So here we have the gallbladder. Below that we are having the pancreas, where here it is having the tail, and this is the body, and this is the head. Okay. This is the pancreatic duct. This is the duct. Okay. And which is under below that we have the intestine. This is the structure of pancreas. So in the next slides, we'll go in detail structure of the pancreas. Coming again about this slide, so pancreas mainly contain both exocrine and endocrine cells. In that, again in endocrine, we are having 4 different types of cells. So this is the structure, pancreas. So this is the intestine, okay, stomach. So this is the duct. So this, see here, this is the duct, right? So here we have the duct cells. So they are mainly used in secreting the sodium bicarbonate solutions. Okay, these duct cells mainly helps in secretion of sodium bicarbonate solutions. And here, see, this is the acinar cells. So they mainly are helpful in secreting the digestive enzymes. Acinar cells are mainly used in secreting the digestive enzymes. Combinedly, these two are the exocrine portion of pancreas. So duct cells will be only the pancreatic lining, and they are mainly helpful in secreting the sodium bicarbonate solution. And these acinar cells mainly secretes the enzymes, so digestive enzymes. So that will help in transporting as well as digesting the things, right? Combinedly, these two are the exocrine portion. And endocrine portion, this is the endocrine portion. So this is the enlarged picture of endocrine portion, right? Here we have beta cells, alpha cells, D cells, and actually PPP is also there. And also we have capillary, right? So this is the endocrine portion. The zooming of this one, this image is the endocrine portion. Okay, so from this slide we got to know what are the exocrine cells and what are the endocrine cells. So exocrine, we have duct cells, which will be the lining and helps in secretion of sodium bicarbonate solution. And acinar cells are the main, they will be secreting the digestive enzymes. So combined, these two will be the exocrine portion. And endocrine, we have 4 cells again in that. There will be alpha, beta, D, and PPP. Right? So we'll go in detail about what is beta cells and alpha cells, D cells and PPP cells. Yes. So these are nothing but all the endocrine cells will be mainly in the islets of Langerhans. Here we have it, see, human hormone, insulin secretion. So this is the islets of Langerhans. Endocrine portion of pancreas is nothing but islets of Langerhans. From that islets, we have again beta, alpha, D and PPP. So these islets, IE, IS, LETS, where S is silent here. Islets of Langerhans, we pronounce it that way. So islets of Langerhans, which we also called as island of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans are also termed as island of Langerhans. So they will be mainly of irregular shape patches. Okay, they mainly present in the pancreas. So these islets of Langerhans are of irregular shape and they are present in the pancreas. Okay, so this islets is named by a German physician, Paul Langerhans. Okay, the name of islets of Langerhans. This Langerhans is the name of the German physician who discovered in 1969. Right? So these islets of Langerhans is also called as island of Langerhans. These are of irregular shaped and they are present in the pancreas. They are named, this islets of Langerhans is named by a German physician whose name is Paul Langerhans, who discovered this islets of Langerhans in the year 1969. So coming to the endocrine cells that are present in the islets of Langerhans. So they are alpha, beta, D cells and F cells. So alpha cells will be secreting glucagon. Alpha cells will be secreting glucagon. Alpha cells will be secreting glucagon. So what is the use of this glucagon? They will be helping in converting or secreting or producing, you can say, glucose from its stores. The use of this glucagon is producing glucose from its stores. Okay, so whenever you are having hypoglycemia, so that these alpha cells will be secreting glucagon and which causes increase in glucose levels, which we call it as hyperglycemia, which we call as hyperglycemia. So next type is beta. So we know that beta cells, from the beta cells of islets of Langerhans, insulin is produced. From the beta cells of islets of Langerhans, insulin is produced. So here, insulin mainly causes low blood sugar. That is nothing but hypoglycemia. Mainly causes insulin mainly causes hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. So whenever this insulin is not produced properly or it's not properly secreted, then that leads to hyperglycemia, uncontrolled. Then that leads to diabetes. Okay, so in that nothing but diabetes mellitus. Right? Next we have D cells. D cells are nothing but they will be producing somatostatin. So D cells will be producing somatostatin. So the use of somatostatin is it will be inhibiting the secretion of insulin and glucagon. So this will be inhibiting the secretion of, so this will be inhibiting the secretion of both glucagon and insulin. So these two secretion will be inhibited by somatostatin. Whenever the levels are high or anything, so then the somatostatin will be inhibiting this production. Right? And lastly, we have F cells, nothing but PPP cells. So PPP cells is nothing but pancreatic polypeptide producing hormone. Pancreatic polypeptide producing hormone. Okay. Right. So coming to the in detail description of these things, how about the insulin production. So we'll be going in detail of this beta insulin production. As the topic is about diabetes, we'll go in detail of this insulin. And we have a diagrammatic how they are produced individually here. So location of human beta cells in the islets of Langerhans. So this is the liver. Already showed that image in a zoom way. This is the stomach, and here we have the pancreas, right? So this is the zooming of the pancreas, okay? And in the pancreas, this is the endocrine. So irregular shaped one, already discussed, irregular shaped one, right? And this is the exocrine. This is the acinar, okay? So this is the islets of Langerhans. From that, we are having production of alpha cells, which produces glucagon, production of beta cells, producing of insulin, production of D cells, okay, or delta cells. That is nothing but somatostatin, right? Then we have the capillaries and capsules. This is the image. Exocrine, and these three are endocrine. This is the peptide one, see here. Peptide producing, insulin producing, glucagon, somatostatin. Now we'll discuss about insulin. So how insulin is discovered, when an insulin is discovered in our body, or if from where it is discovered. So initially in 1921, Dr. Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered insulin. So mainly they discovered insulin from a dog pancreas. Mainly insulin was first discovered from a dog pancreas. Okay, so the scientists are Frederick Banting and Charles Best. These two are the scientists who discovered insulin mainly from the dog's pancreas. Then in 1932, they received the Nobel Prize. In 1932, they received the Nobel Prize. This is the history of insulin. Then now we'll discuss the characteristics. We'll discuss the characteristics. Coming to the characteristics, it's a polypeptide hormone. Insulin is a polypeptide hormone. Mainly it is secreted from the beta cells, the islets of Langerhans of pancreas. It's a polypeptide hormone mainly secreted by beta cells in the islets of Langerhans of pancreas. And it is the first hormone which is isolated, purified, and synthesized. The first hormone which is isolated, purified, and synthesized. And it is the first hormone to sequence. So it's having a big sequence, right, of 51 amino acids, right? And that we will see in the next slide. And it is the first hormone to be produced by DNA technology. And it is also a first hormone to be produced by DNA technology. So characteristics of insulin is it's a polypeptide hormone secreted from the beta cells of islets of Langerhans. And it is the first hormone which is isolated, purified, and synthesized. And it's the first hormone to sequence, and it is the first hormone produced by DNA technology. And it is a primary hormone which is responsible for controlling the storage and utilization of cellular nutrients. It's the first hormone to control the storage and utilization of cellular nutrients. Okay, and it also activates transport system, intracellular utilization and storage of glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Mainly activates transport system, intracellular utilization and storage of glucose, of amino acids, and fatty acids. This insulin also inhibits the catabolic process, like breakdown of glycogen into glucose, fats, and proteins into amino acids. And the overall effect already we discussed of insulin is low blood sugar or low blood glucose, which we call it as hypoglycemia, which we also called as hypoglycemia. So this is the primary hormone which is responsible for controlling the storage and utilization of cellular nutrients. It mainly activates the transport system as well as intracellular utilization and storage of glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. And it also causes breakdown of glycogen, fats, and proteins. Coming to the structure of glucose. The structure of insulin. So this insulin chemical structure was given by Sanger in the year 56. In 1956, Sanger gave the structure of insulin. The chemical structure of insulin was given by Sanger in the year 1956. So the human insulin consists of 51 amino acids, which are arranged in 2 polypeptide chains. Chain A contains 21 amino acids, chain B contains 30 amino acids. And in some places, they both are interlinked. They both are interlinked at A chain 7th amino acid and B chain 7 amino acid will be linked by, mainly they are linked by disulfide bridges. And at the A chain 20 and B chain 90 also they are linked by disulfide bridges. And they also have intra-chain. Within the chain also they have a disulfide linkage, mainly in the A chain only, that is at A6 and A11. So this is the structure of insulin. So the chemical structure of insulin was given in 1956. So this human insulin consists of 51 amino acids. In that, 21 amino acids are present in A chain and 30 amino acids are present in B chain. The both are polypeptide chains. The two are interlinked by disulfide bridge at A7 and B7 and A20 and B19. And internally, A chain is also having disulfide bridges at A6 and A11. Coming to the structure. This is the structure of human insulin. So this is the A chain having 21 amino. You can count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Right? So if you give the number, this is the 6th position, 7, 8, this is the 7th position, and this is 20th position. This is A chain. Coming to the B chain, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is a B7, and if we come to here, this is 19th position. So here, see here, this is a B chain is you are having 30 amino acids, A chain you are having 20. So they are linked. They are linked at B7, A7, and other linkage is at B19, A20. And intra-linkage is within the A chain, we have linkage at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this A6, 11. A6, and that is what given in the previous slide. See, A7, B7, A20, B19, see A20, B19. Then you have here internal intra-linkage at A6, A11. This is A6, A11. So this is a chain where you are having a 30 amino acid polypeptide chain and a 20 amino acid polypeptide chain. So this A chain and B chain mainly linked by disulfide bridges. Disulfide bridges. So in the next video, we will discuss about how a human insulin is synthesized. Right? Thank you.